So I chose to work at Aurora because I had a keen interest in motorsport, and Aurora work on Formula E. So I thought, if I can, it would be great to work for Formula E, specifically on that specific series, because I just love electric cars and specifically motorsports in general. So that was one of the main reasons. And also, you get to work on cool, different types of projects all the time. And that was basically the main reason why I chose to work for Aurora.
What is your role at Aurora?
I am a producer at Aurora. So I work on delivering VTs, which are like edits and videos for the TV show, the Formula E World Feed. So that's things like openers and closers. So when the show starts, there's like a big opener that starts the show. And my job is to work with an editor, come up with some ideas to something creative to start the show, and then making sure that everything's in place in terms of the running order, and just to make sure that everything's there for all the producers, for the directors, for all the VT coordinators. My job is to just arrange and help to make sure that the show works properly.
What editing software do you use to make sound effects?
To make sound effects, so we use Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, to make video edits, and that's where we would install all our sound effects on there, and that's like all those like crazy swoosh and boom, and just to make your videos look really like uplifting, like you know when you're watching a movie trailer, and then you use those types of crazy sound effects, and like if a car's coming past, like you can like kind of make it do like those crazy engine noises and stuff. So we'd use Premiere Pro for all our sound effects.
Who's your favourite F1 driver?
My favourite F1 driver is Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, it has to be Lewis Hamilton.
Why did you choose to work with Formula E?
Because I love motorsports, and I've worked in sports. I've worked in sports my whole life, and I think I've worked in football, I've worked in tennis, and I've worked in different things. And I thought I love motorsports so much. It'd be great to try a different thing, get out of my comfort zone, and go and work in something a bit more different. So yeah, that's the reason I chose Formula E.
What's the part of Aurora and Formula E?
What's the
Part of Aurora and Formula E.
what do you mean? Like the?
What's the drivers going to do in Aurora?
What do we do with the drivers?
Yeah.
So we interview the drivers, we film the drivers, we do all types of things. So when they're going into their car and they're putting their helmets on and they're getting their gloves on and stuff, we make sure we get all the best camera shots of those. And then after the race, we interview them to see how well they did in the race. So we ask them, were you happy, were you sad? How do you feel for next week's race? And then we also work on another show which looks ahead to all the other races for the rest of the season. Thank you.
Who and what inspired you to start recording content of sports?
Good question. Who inspired me? I always wanted to work in media. So probably since I was a young kid, I think I wanted to become a journalist. So I studied journalism, and then I studied multimedia journalism. So I learned how to use cameras, and I learned how to edit, and I learned how to use audio softwares and things like that. So like podcast booths and stuff. So then I just kind of naturally moved away from journalism and got into multimedia, and then I went into radio. But I'd say it was just my love for sports that made me want to go into it. I don't know if there was anyone specific, but just watching different shows, sports shows like Match of the Day, soccer, football on Sky Sports and seeing all those presenters watch, and then I was like, I want to become a sports producer. Yeah, so that's how I got into it.
What football team do you support?
I support Manchester United, the best team in the world. The best team in the world. We're going to win everything next season. You support Liverpool.
So you didn't support Man U?
No, he supports Liverpool. He's got Liverpool to support. I'm sorry. Hello.
How many businesses do you work with?
How many businesses do Aurora work with?
Yeah.
We have lots of different clients. We have so many different clients. We've got Formula E, which is motor racing. We've got E1, which is boat racing. Then we've got Extreme E, which is like these big cars that go smashing into each other, into like the desert and stuff. And then we've got, we do a lot of stuff in Saudi Arabia with like horse racing, camel racing. So like more than, I think we've got over 20 to 30 clients that we work with at Aurora. And it's not just sports, we do like branded content, we do like stuff with Nike, we do stuff with all these different companies.
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is, I should say Formula E, but it's probably football. Football. What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Who's your team?
Manchester City.
City. Oh man. Good season.
We won.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's your favourite part about being a producer?
I think it's going on all cool different shoots. Like you get to experience different things. Like a couple of weeks ago, got to go to Monaco. That was really cool. And we got to shoot on, like we went on some boats and did some filming on boats, and then we went around in like all the glamorous parts of Monaco, like filming in like fancy cafes and restaurants. That was really cool. And then interviewing sports athletes. That's always fun because it's like you get to, these people that you, like growing up, I used to see those people on TV and now I get to interview those people. That's really cool. So I think those are the best parts. And you're always doing something different. So that's really cool.
What job did you want to do when you were younger and why?
I wanted to become a journalist. I don't know, I just always like news, a weird obsession with news. So I always wanted to get into news. And then I got into multimedia. And then and then I just started getting into cameras and video editing and stuff like that.
Do you think work's your biggest priority in life?
That's a deep question. Do I think is work my biggest priority in life? Work is a big part of my life, and I think it's something that makes you happy. So you should definitely do something that makes you happy. So I think, yeah, it is a big part of my life. Is it my biggest priority? I think it's, I think whatever makes you happy should be your biggest priority. So it is a big part of my life, yeah.
Thank you.
What do you think is the most important quality to have as a producer?
Organisation, which is definitely that you need to be organised. You need to be on top of a lot of things because you're juggling a lot of things. Whether it's you're looking after something, like for example, if you're looking after something creative, then it's like you have to speak to the cameramen and make sure that they know what they're doing. Communication is a big skill to have if you're a producer, because you can't always assume that one person knows what you're thinking. So if, and I'll use the example of a cameraman again, if you think you want a specific type of shot, you've come up with this idea and you tell a cameraman, this is what we want to do, and he doesn't understand, he might not understand it unless you fully tell him, this is what we need to do. So organisation, communication, and ability to think fast, because like things change rapidly. Things go wrong, stuff breaks, and you have to think of ways of fixing it. So you have to think fast as well.
Also, do you prefer Messi or Ronaldo?
I think I'm a Man United fan, but I have to say Messi is the better player overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you.
He is. It hurts me to say that, though. Huh? It hurts me to say it, though.
What did you do before Aurora Media?
I used to work, so I've started my career in radio for TalkSport, and then I went into working for a company called Perform, which is like news, sports news, so like making video packages with like articles, writing articles. And then I went into working for UEFA Digital, so I worked in football for a few years, working on Champions League, Europa League, and stuff like that, so highlights, going out there, and then for the Euros. So there I worked as an assistant producer, and which was basically editing and assistant producing, and then I did a few bits in tennis as a freelancer. So I left working full time to be a freelancer. I did some stuff in tennis, worked on the Commonwealth Games. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to work on different sports.
Have you always wanted to do producing?
So I think so. I think after I realised that I stopped having an interest for journalism, then I think I always wanted to become a producer. Yeah.
That's the end of mine.
Thank you.
In your opinion, what would you say is your favourite partnership that you've had with Aurora?
My favourite partnership, I think the Formula E work I do is really cool. Also, I've worked on some stuff we do in Saudi Arabia. So it's like we go to the desert and we film like these really cool things with like they've got lots of cool sports events there, and they've got lots of horse events going on in the middle of the desert, and it looks like something out of a movie scene. So that's like amazing, because it's very different to here, and love London, but it's nice to be somewhere different. So it was nice being there, and it's different culture, experiencing different culture and how they do things was really nice. So I think working on the Alula project, which offers you a different type of work compared to always working on sports, was really cool.
If you can have one partnership with any company, what would it be and why?
I would say, that's a really good question. I would say I like working on boxing. I like boxing, so if we could ever do something in boxing, if Aurora ever get working with like big boxers or something, that would be really good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
What was your favourite project that you worked on?
Ever or
Like
Aurora?
ever?
Ever. I would say it was pretty cool working on the Euros. I worked on Euro 2020, but it was in 2021 because of COVID. So that was really cool. I got to go to Amsterdam for 4 weeks, and all the matches that were played in the stadium in Amsterdam, I got to produce some of the work for that. So interviewing the players, going to the training sessions for some of the countries that were playing there, and meeting some really cool people and working on some, and getting to watch the matches as well. I think the best thing is you get to watch the matches, football matches, for free, without having to spend your own money.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Most famous person I met was probably Robin van Persie.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a football player. In sports, Robin van Persie. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
What's the hardest part about being a producer?
Sometimes it can get, sometimes it's like, it can be quite stressful because there's a lot of things to do. So I think one of the hardest things about being a producer is being able to manage your time, especially when sometimes it gets tiring and you have to like try and figure out ways of fixing things when it's tiring. Like for example, when we worked overnights in Shanghai, in London the other day, but we were working on Chinese time, and that was overnight. So just like having to like stay awake and work at like a very high level, that can be quite difficult as well. So that's definitely something that is very difficult when you're a producer.
Okay, thank you.
Why did you become a producer?
I became a producer because first I became a sports producer because I love sports, and I just wanted free tickets to things. It's the best way to get free access to sports events.
What is your favourite thing to film?
I would say it would be, you know, when you take those like really cool slow-mo shots of like athletes and like film and stars, like when they're doing their action shots and stuff. That's pretty cool because you can always use that in so many different things.
Is it difficult to do your job?
It can be difficult, but I enjoy it. So like when you enjoy something, it doesn't seem as difficult. It's obviously still difficult because it's like long hours. Like sometimes you're working 10 to 12 hours, but like you enjoy it, so it's good.
Do you have any advice for young producers?
Yeah, I would say get as much experience as you can. So like if you get an opportunity to, and I know it sounds like crazy, but like just help a cameraman just like by picking up their bags for them and like helping set up a tripod for them, do it. Take any advice, any experience you can. Even if it's like making teas, because one day you'll be watching those editors and those producers like learning how to do stuff, and then you'll learn how to do stuff, and you'll understand how the business works and the people are and the industry, and it gives you an idea of what you like and what you don't like. So definitely just take as much experience as you can, be open-minded, and yeah, just always know that at the end, whatever happens, you'll always get there.
Thank you.
That's right.
How long have you been working for Aurora Media?
So I joined Aurora in April. I joined Aurora in April last year, and I joined them as a producer on Formula E. And I've been, so it's been just over a year now.
How did you start off your journey?
I started off as making cups of teas at a radio station called TalkSport for the presenters, and it's basically a runner, so it's like helping them get them stuff, going to the shops, grabbing things, little bits for them, and then from there I started doing some extra bits for them. Like I think going back to the previous question, just like if you keep doing those things and learning and you show a good attitude, then they give you more responsibilities. So then I started writing more scripts for them and editing audio packages, and then that went on to working into TV from there.
Have you ever supported a certain person when you filmed them?
Supported them how?
As in, like, wanted someone to win but had to not be biased?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. I have to watch Arsenal play every week, and like if I'm watching Arsenal play, I mean I'm a Man United fan and Liverpool. I can't. If I'm at a stadium and like I used to go to Liverpool press conferences and see Klopp speaking, and I was just like, I'm a Man United fan, so I don't want to see his team do well. But yeah.
What is your favourite kind of sport to film?
I think motor racing is the best sport to film because you can do so many different things. Like the cars move so fast, so you can like really get some cool dynamic shots, and then you can be really creative with like the ideas you come up with. The other day we came up with an idea for Shanghai because it was in China. So we got these. We found a Chinese calligraphy artist. You know those people that make the Chinese writing. So he was painting it, and then we got him to, like, we got some really cool transitions to the cars racing on tracks from his ink. So that was really cool. So racing's really dynamic. It's really versatile, and it's because it's so fast-paced. I quite like that. It really makes it exciting to make video content for cars. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay.
What's your favourite and least favourite thing about Aurora?
My favorite thing about Aurora is I get to work on so many different cool things. I get to travel, which is really nice. And my least favorite thing is the coffee. The coffee could be better. In the kitchen, I think they could improve on the coffee.
Thank
you know,
you.
I like really good coffee,
Yeah.
and they don't have good coffee.
So, was being a producer or working with media your dream job as a child, or like did your plans change when you got older?
I think I plan to change, so it's a really good question. So I don't think I ever wanted to just become a producer. I think I started off probably like every little kid probably wanted to become a football player, and then realizing I couldn't become a football player, and then going into sports journalism, and then from sports journalism going into TV producing, so it just naturally fell into place.
Yeah. So, like, what got you into like producing and media? Like, did someone inspire you to become a producer?
I think watching sports was my biggest inspiration. It was just like no specific person inspired me. It was just because as a producer, you don't actually know a producer. Like, behind the camera, you don't know producers as a kid because they're not famous like sports stars are. So I think just watching sports TV was like, this is really cool. How is this done? And then I just looked into how it was done, and I was like, oh, this is what I kind of like doing. This would be really cool to work on. And then I just started working in production, first radio, audio production, and then went into video from there.
And what is your favourite part of being a producer?
My favourite part of production is all the really cool experiences, and getting to work on so many different types of work. So it's not every day is the same. You don't always feel like you're getting bored, and you get to try different types of work, especially at Aurora, where they give you all different types of stuff to work on.
I think that's all from me.
Thank you.
What qualifications did you need to get this job?
So, I got a degree. So I graduated from secondary school, and then I went to college, and then I got my A-levels, and then I went to university and got a degree in journalism. You don't have to go to university. If you can just get experience and do it as well. So there's two different pathways to getting into TV or any type of media production. It's up to you which way you want to go down. But if you go down the path of going down university, you learn a few bits on theory, but then you can also do it the other way, where you just learn everything on the job as an apprentice, an intern. You don't get paid at the start. Maybe you become a runner, and then you get paid a little bit more, and then you start learning it. And then as you go on, you start getting paid more, and you start getting more responsibilities, and that's how it works. So you've got two options: either go down uni, or just go down the experience way and just keep on working.
Who was your inspiration and role model to work in media?
So I would say it was like, I have got one person that actually inspired me, but I only met him once I joined in radio, and that was a guy called Sal, who works at TalkSport, really cool producer. But I met him after I'd already joined the industry, but he made me realise that it was like if you work really hard, he worked really hard in the industry, that you can get really far in the industry. So he was really cool. I should probably tell him that. I haven't spoken to him in a few years, but I should tell him that. But yeah, he was probably the person that was my inspiration.
What did your parents think when you chose this career?
They were happy for me. Yeah, my parents were happy for me. I think they were just happy that I chose something that I wanted to do. They knew I love sports, so like they would always send me on, like, I played football growing up so much, so they always kind of knew I loved sports. And I used to, whenever I could, I'd always watch sports on TV. If I was at home, like, you name the sport, I've watched it. Like, so when I told them, I don't think they were surprised. I think they were really happy.
How do you feel about being an ethnic minority in sport media?
Yeah, it's obviously, I think now more than ever, being someone from a diverse background is becoming more common. I think when I started 10 years ago, it was a lot less common, and I think it felt a little bit more difficult because you're looking at the people above, the people that were in senior positions, and they weren't people that maybe looked like you or were the same from the same background as you. So it always felt like it might have been difficult to get into one of those roles. But I think now more than ever in 2024, there's more people from ethnic backgrounds in TV, representing voices, unheard voices from maybe 20, 30 years ago that we didn't hear.
Thank you for your time.
All right.